Salve! Bem-vindo a mais um react aí. Faz um tempinho que saiu esse vídeo aí, tá no meu watch later aqui, é uma cota pra ver aqui no canal. Ô Gastão, por favor, não derrube esse vídeo. Eu gosto muito do seu trampo. Meu nicho é pequeno. Só repassando pros meus amigos emo. Uma entrevista que o Gastão, lá do Kazagastão, né? Antigo VJ, fez com o Dallas Green, nosso queridíssimo Alexisonfire. A entrevista saiu dia 24 de junho. Vamos assistir então.
You know, I went to see Pearl Jam in Soundgarden because I was a grunge kid, but that was also
Oh,
my
Dallas Green era
introduction
grunge,
to Neil
pô.
Young.
Já começou forte com o Dallas Green era grunge, hein? Fui grunge também. Tenho esta fase na minha carteirinha do rock.
You know, I went to see Pearl Jam in Soundgarden because I was a grunge kid, but that was also my introduction to Neil Young, and it changed my life.
Tá vendo? Fã real do conteúdo aí. Tá com a barba linda mesmo. Pô, ele tava vestido de Nens ali, pô.
Hi Dallas, how you doing, my man?
Good, my friend. How are you?
Chegou muito forte o Gastão, hein? É que ele já morou na gringa mesmo, então, pô, ele tem a embocadura do gringo, né? How you doing, my man? Pô, e aí, meu mano, meu faixa?
Hi Dallas, how you doing, my man?
Good, my friend. How
My
are you?
man. Me lembra muito o episódio que todo mundo odeia o Chris, né? My man.
You played in Lollapalooza. Did you have a good time here?
Oh, it was the best. You know, I think all the guys were really looking forward to it. I thankfully had already been there a few times since we played 2012, so I had gotten to see a bit.
Vocês sabem porque ele já teve aqui algumas vezes, né? Porque vocês ficaram apoiando esse bagulho dele tocar violão sozinho por aí. Ele parou com a banda e ficou se dedicando aí a projeto solo.
Bit more of the country, and I was just really excited to be back playing with Alexis, and especially our first tour since COVID, to be down in South America. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better return to playing rock music.
Aquilo ali é a casa do Dallas? Vamos pagar de Casemiro aqui, dar uma analisada. Aqui é a TV ou é um quadro? Um quadro, né? Ou é a TV? Não, é um quadro mesmo, em cima da lareira. É lareira aqui, será? Um violão encostado? Perigoso violão encostado na lareira, né? Ou não é lareira? Ah, uma humilde residência, né? Uns livrinhos aqui, pá. Interfoninho, pan. Maneiro em Dallas.
I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better return to playing rock music. You know, for the beautiful people of your country, they're just the most passionate people I've ever experienced in my life.
É isso,
Something
América
that
do
happened
Sul
this time that blew our minds was the crowd started singing along to the guitar parts, which we'd never experienced before, you know, and that was a real beautiful.
Tá louco, eu não vi isso. Rolou um Ponel, 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 ponel. Fiquei sabendo disso, não. Você, Nens, que colou em vários shows da Alexisonfire. Isso aconteceu?
Moment for us on stage.
Look, you kept almost the original lineup. How important is that for you?
It's very important, you know. When Jordan took over.
Atualizando aqui o chat, o que aconteceu foi que o Dallas disse que a galera cantou as linhas de guitarra. E aí ele nunca tinha visto isso e tal. Não vi falar disso não, hein? Se não falaram na minha bolha do Twitter, não aconteceu.
Drums, when Jesse left the band, it was a very difficult time, you know, that we had to move on from playing with Jesse, our friend, and Jordan really like saved us in a way in that moment. And Alexis doesn't exist without the bond that we have as the
esse
five
bateria
of
é muito
us,
melhor que o anterior.
So we've realized that too, I think, over the years now, that this band only exists when it is us. And so if somebody changes or somebody leaves or whatever.
Eu acho isso um sentimento muito, muito real de bandas, assim. Que uma banda existe graças à união daquelas pessoas, tá ligado? É o que consiste uma banda. Então quando fica essas bandas de um membro só, ou banda que mudou todo mundo, começa a perder a essência pra mim. Mas eu sou chato, né?
Whatever, it stops for a while because it's not just about the name, it is about the bond that the five of us have together.
Muito forte, hein? Eu confesso, assim, tipo, eu escutei muito pouco de material novo deles, assim, tipo, novo pra mim é Young Cardinals.
Can we talk about the new album? Otherness.
Caralho,
What's your favorite song
tu
in it?
viu a conexão neural que eu tive com os caras na conversa? Tu não ouviu o bagulho novo? Então vou botar o bagulho novo aqui e vamos falar sobre, tu vai ouvir depois.
If I had to pick one, it would be Blue Spade. Blue Spade is my favorite.
It's among my favorites.
Okay, cool.
Uma curiosidade aleatória aqui no meio da live. Meu queridíssimo amigo Vlad do Zona Punk é um cara aí lendário dessa cena do rock aí, né? E ele tava fazendo parte da organização da Vans Tour que teve nacional aqui, saca? E aí teve uma data no Estúdio G que eu fui com a camiseta da Alexisonfire. Aí na porta o Vlad veio me tirando, chegou, essa camiseta de emo aí. Falei, não é emo, é pós-hardcore. Aí ele, tá sabendo, hein? Discussões inúteis da juventude emo. Vlad virou pai, mora aqui em Santos. Eu trabalhei pra ele no Boteco do Valongo alguns meses em 2019. E encontrei com ele no estúdio esses tempos aí.
My favorite one, Sweet Dreams of Otherness.
Cool.
I love it. That song is
Cool.
my favorite song so far this year. And I love the melodies, especially
Caralho,
the
não mandou ele que é a melhor do disco, mandou que é a melhor do ano. Botou, ó, lá no alto, hein, Gastão?
You sing. I wish I could sing like you, my man.
Well,
Really?
you probably, everybody can sing, just some people can do it a little bit different than others. That's the way I look at it.
Caralho, o Dalas, a resposta diplomática, que era a mesma resposta que eu dava, pô, todo mundo pode cantar, pô, é só tu dá-lhe. Muito forte, hein, Dalas?
A powerful voice in this song, especially. Yeah?
Yeah, I'm really proud of that one too. That's one of my favorites for sure. I think we had written eight of the songs, and that one just started coming to me because I started to really understand how much I appreciate my relationship with these dudes and this thing that we can.
Tu manter a banda há vários anos, viajar pra tudo quanto é lado e pá, é um bagulho louco mesmo, assim. Ou tu cria um super vínculo ou um super ódio.
Do together that I don't think I can do with anybody else, and that I don't think that anybody sounds like us. I think we are our own thing, and we are that. We
The Only Band Ever, cuzão. The Only Band Ever é o site oficial deles, né?
have that otherness to us, and I wanted to write a song like a love letter to us, to the idea of this otherness that I
eu fiquei
feel
curioso de ouvir.
when I'm in a room making music with these men,
Do you think there's a kind of evolution of your music? Or is something completely
Ó, o
new
Gastão
for
tá
you?
de bigodinho
I
fininho,
think,
né?
because I don't think we're not trying to do a disservice to the old version or what we
Ó, a barba do Gastão é de cria, é Brasil. Essa barba do Dallas Green, pô, sem formato, tá de senhorzinho, pô. Por mais que o Nens tenha defendido aqui no chat, tá de senhorzinho que tá esperando o bico de Papai Noel final de ano. Tem que dar um formato nisso aí, amigão. Você tem dinheiro pra isso, que isso.
used to sound like, but I think we realized that we could just be whatever we wanted to be, because that's what we've always been, even though when we started we were kind of put in the screamo genre, or
Saudoso
you
Screamo.
get put in to a place so people can talk about you and say, this is the band that they belong here. But I think as we were starting to write,
sem drip.
We just realized that, yeah, this band has always been whatever we feel like it should be at that moment. If we made the record we wanted to make.
Cara, esse pra mim é o feeling que tem que se ter numa banda, de você fazer o som que tá afim. Na minha antiga banda, às vezes tinha essas noias de, não, mas isso aqui não é a gente. Que não é a gente, se a gente que tá fazendo é a gente.
And we believed that it was good, then the people that like us would get it and they would listen to it and they would appreciate it, even if it sounds a little different than what we used to sound like.
And I think that you're going to get some new fans for sure.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's, I think the people who like us will hear what they like about us in it. But I think people who maybe were on the fence or who have never heard us might take to it as well.
Let's talk about Sans Soleil. Is it the right pronunciation?
Sans Soleil.
É o nome do disco?
I think it's a hit.
Não, é mais uma música.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a really good song.
Eu fico achando que é tipo
I mean, I think
a
we
capa do
wrote
disco.
a really beautiful song, and I mean, if I do say so myself, I think the singing is really, really good on it. And
Última
I think
época
the
que
melody that Wade
eu era
wrote
tão fã desses malucos que eu sabia as tatuagens exatas que eles tinham. Eu tô olhando pro braço dele ali, tô
is
lembrando.
beautiful, and I think it's catchy and it's personal. And I think, like I said, I don't know what else you would want from a song.
Ó, essa tem o climão Alexisonfire clássico, hein?
Mistaken Information.
Me pegou.
It's another hit to me too.
Yeah, I wrote that song long before we started making
O Gastão vai meter esse faixa-faixa mesmo com o mano? Que isso?
the record, but then the way that the boys took the song and the way we made this arrangement, like I didn't expect it to end up being prettier as the Alexis version, but it did, like I thought we would take my song and make it more aggressive. When Wade heard that, he just sort of really, he turned it into this beautiful cinematic moment on the record, I think, with all the sort
Beleza,
of
tá me deixando interessado a de fato ouvir o disco.
orchestration on it.
Dei a risadinha aqui que ficou pensando no Mano dos Berros, né? Nas músicas assim. Bom, rapaziada, vou pegar um drink lá então.
And I love Word Stops Turning.
Mm-hmm.
That's an epic final for a record, don't you think so?
Yeah, no, I when I came up with that idea, like I definitely told the guys, like I said, I think I wrote the song that we can play last for the rest of our career.
Pô, essas camisas xadrez que variam as cores, não me peguem. Não me pega. Fica muito festa junina, né?
And what kind of band do you imagine playing, or would you like to be
Opa,
playing
gente, eu tô aqui pra fazer os comentários merda, né? A entrevista de verdade o Gastão fez.
with you in a tour?
Well, thankfully, like on this next couple of shows we're getting to play with a lot of bands that I really love, like Metz. Our friends in Metz are opening
Nunca
for
ouvi
us
essa
in
Metz.
Montreal. That'll be good. We get to open for Rage Against the Machine
Daqui eu só conheço o Fall for Troy.
soon. I mean, that would be great. I would love to go on tour with Rage Against the Machine, but I mean, who wouldn't? But there's lots of good bands. The band Idols. I think Idols is a really great
Nunca
band.
ouvi,
Or
manjo de nome.
Turnstile would be a good tour, I think.
Essa
How
é o
was your
que
return?
meus amigos jovens pira, né? Também nunca dei uma atenção carinhosa.
Turn to the band. Was it a slow process, or you just felt like, I want to join the band again?
I think, when we started playing again a couple of years ago, it just felt natural, like people kept asking, like we kept getting show offers and it just sort of
Rindo aqui do relato no chat do Amo Blusa Xadrez, meu marido me pergunta onde eu vou cortar a ave.
seemed like, okay, people seem still interested in wanting to hear the band play. So that was sort of like the initial reasoning for playing again. It wasn't trying to like, because when we broke up and we finished the world tour and all that stuff, we thought we did it really well. We thought we did like a very respectable kind of like end to the band. It was the people, the fans that had been listening to us that sort of pulled us back to it, And so for me, it was a beautiful thing to find my way back to the band because, you know, when I left, it was the hardest thing I'd ever experienced in my life at that point. But so now to find myself here talking to you about a new record after all this time, like I couldn't be happier about it, you know, like this is a part of me. It will always be a part of me. And it is a place that I feel very comfortable and safe in, and in a place where I feel like I can create something that I can't do anywhere else.
What are going to happen with Sit in Color?
I actually made a City in Color record last year too. So I'll put that out, you know, later on in the year. And I think that's the thing that we all now appreciate, that we have other things we want to do.
Sit in Color já é meio que uma banda, uma cota, mas tem essa imagem eterna estigmatizada de ser ele e o violão, né?
You know, but Alexis can still be this thing it can still be this beautiful thing in our lives, you know? City in Color is something I'm very proud of, you know, and I know that, again, just like Alexis, there are a lot of people that really appreciate that side of me, and I appreciate that they listen to it. So it's a relationship I want to still contribute to
essa foto dele.
as I go on.
Sit in Color demands a different kind of energy, a different kind of mood. Do you see yourself like a kind of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde when you compose?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think
Caralho, hein? É meio cringe.
growing up the way I did and getting into the music I did, where I always really loved aggressive music when I was young, but I also loved melody, you know, and then my mother would listen to Sade in the living room, and I loved it. And my sister loved R&B and listened to Mary J. Blige, and I loved it. And so I've always been interested in playing my guitar really loud, but also I've also been interested in playing, you know, writing quieter songs. And, you know, I think it's been confusing a lot of the time over the years of me trying to do this. And I think it's been confusing to people that they don't understand that I can be in both or do both. But I think now I've finally found this.
Ele já soltou o shade aqui junto, né? Geral pegou. Ele, pô, pode ser meio confuso pra rapaziada aí, mas sim, eu sou capaz. Eu faço ambos, é isso.
This place in myself where I can be proud that I am able to do both things, and that there are people that want to listen to both sides of me.
Shade pra mim nada, ó. Nunca errei num comentário por aqui.
What about Helicon Blue? Don't you think it's an underrated band?
Yeah, I mean, that was my first band, you know, my first real band, with my, you know, my late cousin Nick, who passed away in 2019, and
olha que bad.
My best friend at the time, and it was my first real attempt at writing my own songs and sort of trying to like make a go of being in a band and writing my own music, because I felt like, even though I was young, I felt like I had something to contribute. I mean, that's how I met everybody in Alexis. Like
essa foto do LinkedIn, hein? Pô, perdão. Estamos falando de um assunto delicado, mas essa foto é profissional do TI, pô.
That's how I met everybody in Alexis. Like Helicon was playing with all their bands. So it's a special place in my heart that I hold for that.
Tem um timbrinho Dallas Green, né? Não só na voz, mas no instrumental no geral.
What was your first gig ever in your life? Do you remember that?
Yeah, the first real show that I got to see was my best friend's father at the time when we were young. He brought us to Toronto to see Neil Young, Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, and Blues Traveler.
Aí faz a conexão com o Pearl Jam lá no começo.
Which is like the big outdoor exhibition stadium, and it was right, you know, it was like 1993 or something, right when Neil sort of became the sort of godfather of grunge and took the grunge bands on tour, and I got to see that. And like, you know, I went to see Pearl Jam and Soundgarden because I was a grunge kid, but that was also my introduction to Neil Young, and it changed my life.
Inclusive é importante dizer que eu, como um grunge brasileiro, digo, está muito errado de andar de camisa de flanela no sol só pelo visual, hein, rapaziada? Não faça isso. Vai passar mal aí pra manter um visual, tá maluco?
You know, seeing the way people reacted to live music on a scale like that, and being young
O último bastião do grunge foi meu amigo Iago Atlante, que até 2019 ainda andava de camisa xadrez. Mas ele superou isso aí.
And impressionable and already kind of like I'd been playing guitar for a bunch of years at that point, and I really started to realize how emotionally affected I was by music.
You talked about grunge. Was your first record Alice in Chains? Am I right? The first one you bought?
That was the first CD.
A Paulina trouxe uma discussão muito importante aqui pra live, que é, existem vários modelos diferentes de camisa xadrez. Isso aí é um grande erro. Pô, camisa xadrez com capuz, camisa xadrez manguinha curta, misturou cores, como eu já avisei ali, ó. Não, não tem como, rapaziada. Se for pra usar, usa tradicional.
CD I ever bought with my own money was because it came out on my birthday. Dirt came out on September 29th, 1991. And so my mom took me to the mall, and I had been given like a 20.
Ele simplesmente botou a aspa de que o Anthony Green errou. Muito foda. Olha lá. Não, hein? Foi em 92. Mas tudo bem. Dá teu papo aí, gringo.
And so my mom took me to the mall, and I had been given like a $20 bill or something, and I bought the CD and went home and immediately started trying to learn every song, and it was just like that was my because
Paulina, você pode defender o uso de xadrez. Eu sou totalmente a favor dos meus amigos eu tentei falar difícil e errei, mas é tipo, terem por si só a experiência do erro. Você vivenciar estar errada, pra você ver lá na frente que, putz, nada a ver isso aqui. Pra você ver, se ver em fotos no futuro e dizer, caramba, o Giba me falou, hein, o xadrez já não tava nada a ver nessa época. Então vivencie seu erro, tudo bem.
as much as I'm a grunge kid, Alice in Chains are my band. That's my, everybody's got Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Soundgarden. Like I love all of those bands very much, but Alice in Chains was the one that really spoke to me
Eu
on a level
modinha que gostava do
that I wasn't
Nevermind.
prepared for. That contrast of, again,
Do Nirvana,
contrast of incredibly aggressive, heavy music mixed with beautiful singing, beautiful harmony singing, and melody and real emotion and torment and even whether or not I understood that Lane was singing about heroin addiction, I still felt like he was speaking to me, and
Não, esse é
that was like, again, my first
acho que é o grande bastião da música aí, é essa transmissão de sentimentos.
real moment of being emotionally connected to a song and not understanding, just knowing that it was making me feel something.
Paulina tá defendendo aqui que o xadrez vai voltar. Claro que vai! O jovem hoje em dia só faz escolha errada. O jovem, pô, a gente lutou pela calça skinny. Foi zoado até umas horas na rua pra calça skinny ser algo disponível nas Renner e nas Riachuelo. E o jovem tá usando caça larga horrível, com uns buracos que não faz nem sentido tu tá de calça. O jovem vai errar, vai usar xadrez. Mas aí é um erro do jovem, né?
Look, if you failed in music, do you have an idea of what you would like to do in your life?
No, I would have been trying. I'd be still trying to make music. I had no other idea of what to do, or I wasn't really.
Tu ia estar aqui fazendo live, Dallas. É o que eu tô fazendo.
I liked basketball and skateboarding a lot, but those weren't two things I was going to be able to make a living at doing. So writing songs and making music always just felt like something I could. It felt like something I could understand.
Isso aí, eu vou dar uma atenção nesse trampo novo.
I know you are looking forward to release the new album. Are you going to be on tour?
Yeah, we're going to go play a couple of shows. We've got some touring lined up for the rest of the year, and then hopefully we'll be able to kind of go back and come back to South America again, and go to a couple of other.
Muito diplomata, né? Perguntou de tudo, ele falou, pô, espero que a gente possa voltar aí, possa ali passar aí, ele fazer uma visita, tomar um cafezinho passado na hora, a sua presença.
Places we haven't been to in a long time, and just keep the fun spirit going.
And to finish here, how do you like to be on tour?
I love it. I mean, it's the thing I've done most in my life. Since I was 21 years old and I started touring full time, I've done that more than I've done anything else. So for me, sometimes it feels more like home than being at home does. So yeah, it's just a part of me at this point, you know, like I don't understand making a record and not going out and playing it. They go hand in hand in my mind.
Sempre foi um grande sentimento meu também, de que a música estava ligada com fazer shows. Mas cada vez esse sentimento vai se desfazendo em mim, cada vez tenho menos vontade de fazer show, dá muito trabalho. Essa é do tempo do pai, hein?
Dallas, thank you very much for your time, man. Good luck on the road, eh?
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, man.
Talk to you later.
See you, huh?
Do 2. Gente, eu nem sei o que significa tudo 2, tá? Maneiraço, conteúdinho aí, pô. Bala, curti muito. Muito obrigado aí pelo corre, Gastão, de trazer para nós essa entrevista com o Dalão. E você que assistiu esse vídeo até aqui, comenta qualquer coisa aí, comenta um foguinho e deixa o like, pô. Mas